Real Madrid just did the most Real Madrid thing and knocked out Atletico Madrid in a way that, I mean, it's Real Madrid, bro. It's penalties. It's Real Madrid. It's their competition. They got 15 of these damn trophies, and the journey continues for Real Madrid in the Champions League due to penalty shootout. There's so much I want to talk about in this game, in this day, today, in this video. And there's a lot that I'm going to say that you guys are going to disagree with completely. And I'm okay with that, because that's the beautiful thing about football. You're allowed to disagree with each other. You're allowed to have different opinions. For example, I am sick and tired of Vinicius Jr.'s attitude. It just is what it is. I'm gonna be fully honest with you. You see, Neymar was one of the most talented players in football and on the field, and he at times did extra, right? He at times did too much, but he kept it on the field. I am so sick of Vinicius Jr. fighting with every fan base, bro. I'm so sick of it. I love Vinicius Jr. I love the skills he brings to the table. I love Vinny as a player. I love that he tries to bring magic to the beautiful game. I just am so sick of every single fan base, him fighting with them. The amount of times I saw him point at the 15 badge to the Atletico Madrid fans in this game, he pointed at the badge more than he had any chance on scoring goals. You missed a penalty, lad. You missed an important penalty, and you spending more time pointing at the badge than helping your team. And it's starting to get really frustrating watching this guy, because yes, you're probably the most talented player on the field potentially, right? Maybe you are that guy. Maybe you are, but Vinny, let's see that. I want to see that lad. I want to see the lad from last year. I want to see Vinny doing Vinny type things. I want to see you back to balling out. I want to see you back to beasting and feasting. I want to see that Vinny. I don't want to see you pointing at a badge. And Vinny, I'm going to keep it real with you. I love you, brother. You didn't win all 15 of those. You better call up Sergio Ramos and Toni Kroos and Ronaldo and a lot of those. You better call them boys from back in the day, because they were winning those too, you know? So look, man, I understand you're fighting for your badge. I understand you're fighting for your team, but let's spend more time focusing on football than you know, the stuff with the fans. I don't like it, bro. I think it needs to stop. And I'm gonna be real with y'all today, lads. I think Vinicius Jr. was absolutely horrible for Real Madrid. First of all, I think Atletico Madrid was the better team on the day. That's what I think. I think Atletico Madrid was the better team on the day. And Real Madrid really almost got themselves eliminated from the Champions League. And I know you're gonna look at me, you're gonna be like, what do you mean they almost got themselves eliminated? Because it wasn't about today. It wasn't about today. And you're probably like, what are you talking about? If you go back to game one, if you go back to the end of the game, pretty much almost the last chance of the game, towards the end, Mbappe has a breakaway. He's down the right wing, and all he has to do is feed the ball incorrectly to, I believe it was Vinicius Jr., and Vinny's going to tap that in for a second, and they're going to go to Atletico Madrid's house up by 2. Instead, Mbappe put the ball in wrong. They go to the second game, and Atletico Madrid scores within the first 30 seconds of the game. So this game really could have been settled in the first game. You really could have put the cherry on top in the first game, and you didn't do it. And then you went to Atleti, and you really got dominated by Atletico Madrid, if I'm honest with you. Atleti was fantastic today. And if anything, they were the better team. Now, there is things I must say that people won't agree with, because I'm here right now. You might think I'm a Madrid fan, but you hear what I'm saying. I don't like what Vinny's doing. I don't like how Vinny performed today. I think Vinny should have got subbed out, not Rodrigo. Do I think Vinny's a better player than Rodrigo in his career? Possibly. But do I think that in this game, Vinny was doing more than Rodrigo? Negative. No, I don't. I think Rodrigo should have been on the field over Vinicius Jr., because Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe both kept just losing the ball. And Vinny was at least trying to break down that Atleti team. And Brahim probably should have been on the field earlier, because he's so freaking talented. Like, Brahim is such a talent that he should probably be on the field way earlier. But with all of that being said, with how bad I thought Mendy had of a game, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Mbappe, all these guys had bad games in my opinion. with all of them having bad games, I think there's a penalty to be given. And people keep saying the Atletico Madrid's guy's hand is in a natural position. But if you watch the play, if you take it shot by shot, you can see the Atleti guy's arm kind of goes back. Now, it might be a natural movement for him. He might not be thinking about moving his hand to the ball, but the facts are it hits his hand and the hand is moving. So it's not like it's like this. The hand is out, lad. So for me, I think there's a penalty not given to Real Madrid. I believe that was in the first half. And I believe it was created by Vinicius Jr. Now, y'all might think I'm wrong here, but I think it's a penalty. And it's not given. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. In the penalty shootout, when it finally gets the penalty shootouts, Julian Alvarez's penalty gets called off because I guess he touched the ball twice. I'm in my 30s, lads. White hair. Y'all see that? 2 white hairs. I don't know if I've ever seen that. And if I have, I don't remember it. I don't remember the VAR stepping in and saying, homie touched the ball twice. I guess Alvarez got really unlucky, and while he was slipping, the ball hit his leg again, hit his foot again. It still went in, but I guess he hit the ball twice. I guess that's what they called. So they called the penalty off. So that one was pretty questionable for me. I didn't get to see the replay again. I only got to see it one time. But that was a little bit questionable for me, right? But I think that was questionable. I think the penalty was questionable. The handball was questionable. And that's how I feel about the refereeing. Now, with that being said, I don't understand how you can have a player that in a World Cup final, which is the biggest stage in football, right? That and the Champions League final. I don't understand how you can have a player that went to a champion that was in a World Cup final and scored 3 penalties in a World Cup final against Messi in Argentina. And in the round of 16 of a Champions League, this player makes a run, takes on 2 defenders, wins a penalty, and you give it to Vinicius Jr. I just don't understand it. And I don't like it. And I don't think, and I've been saying it all year, since September pretty much of Real Madrid, there needs to be and should be one penalty taker, and that's it. We've seen Mbappe shoot. We've seen Vinny shoot. We've seen Jude shoot. We never know. And the truth is, for me, I think there is players that are better at shooting penalties. I think Valverde has a great penalty shot on him. Mbappe's so cool when he steps up to the spot. I know he misses sometimes, but for me, it's Mbappe should be taking this penalty. And he won it. I think he should be taking it. I think he's your striker. I think he's your 9. I think he's your goal scorer. I don't get why he's not taking it. I don't like that Vinicius Jr. took the penalty. And there's one more thing I'm going to say. And I think this rule changed. But when I was growing up, that's a red card. That penalty is a red card because it's the last man. And I think there's like a rule now where they're like, they try like to not give you like the double whammy. Like they don't want to give you like hit you with 2 things. Like here's a penalty and here's a red card. We don't want to do that to teams no more. I think it's a red card, bro. I think he's the last man. It's a clear goal opportunity. He grabs the player and yanks him to the floor. I think this is a red card. I don't know where it's not a red card. If it was a breakaway and it was one defender and Mbappe and they're just outside the box and the player pulls him down when he's about to be one-on-one with Oblak, it's a red card. So why is it not a red card in the box when he's about to be one-on-one? I don't like it. And people might be like, well, it's the new rule, Skills. Well, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, a penalty is not 100%. Like you might miss it. I would imagine Mbappe would rather have a one-on-one with Oblak than a penalty. I think Mbappe would have taken his chances on that one-on-one right there at full speed over a penalty. So if it's only going to be a yellow card, like it doesn't sit well with me because Mbappe's probably scoring that goal and the penalty's not happening. So Atletico Madrid not only gets only a yellow card, but then on top of it, Vinny skies it. I just don't like it. If that's the whole new rule in football, I personally don't like it. I think it's a red card. I think he's the last man. I don't get why it's not a red card. But I understand if it's the new rule, right? So, but growing up, for me, it's hard to see that because I was always growing up, if you're the last man, it's a red card, right? Don't matter where it's at, it's a red card. So it's kind of weird for me to see. But anyways, Atletico Madrid were better. Atletico Madrid didn't deserve to go out. Atletico Madrid were unlucky in penalties because of the Alvarez slip. But this is Madrid. This is Madrid. This is Madrid. And people don't understand it. You can hate it. You can cry about it. You can talk about it. You can be upset about it. You can try to make up whatever makes you feel better and sleep at night. Real Madrid is very hard to get out of the Champions League. On their worst day, they knocked out a good Atletico Madrid. This is probably the worst Madrid we're going to see in the Champions League this year. We just saw it. We probably just saw the worst game that Madrid is going to do in the Champions League this game. Terrible game from Jude Bellingham, who was coming off of a knock. I think he was injured. Mbappe was questionable to play this game because he's injured. Vinny was horrendous. Rodrigo didn't do much. Tchouaméni was okay. Valverde was great, especially when he got moved into the midfield. Asensio, again, a baby playing at center back, is phenomenal. One of the best center backs in world football. And I just think to myself, y'all are going to laugh at me, but so you're telling me this Spanish team is about to have Asensio and Kubasi for the next 12 years, 13 years? That's crazy. Spain about to have Kubasi and Asensio at center back for the next 5 competitions. It's incredible. They are Asensio Spanish, right? I'm pretty sure he's Spanish, right? He's Spanish. I'm 1,000% sure Asensio Spanish. If he's not, then I'm just stupid. But that's insane to me, bro, because Asensio is an absolute baller. Kubasi, an absolute baller. Like, it's Puyol and Sergio Ramos reincarnated, bro. Like, this is crazy. Asensio had a phenomenal game. Courtois had a phenomenal game. But outside of those guys, Camavinga came into the game. He was really good off the bench, I thought. But everybody else, bro, that was a real sus game. And in their worst game, they still get by Atletico Madrid. So at the end of the day, man, this was a big opportunity for Atletico and Simeone to get Madrid out. They couldn't get Madrid out. They didn't get Madrid out. And as I said, bro, and I'm going to continue to say it, and Barca fans can say whatever they want to say and everybody can laugh. If Mbappe lands Madrid, the world don't got to get ready. I mean, Barca don't got to get ready. The world got to get ready. And you saw it today. At the worst Real Madrid, what did Mbappe do? He broke the defense on their only chance going forward and won a penalty. And Vinny missed it. And then what did he do? He stepped up to the first penalty and shot it in coolly against Oblak, one of the best center backs. This kid is the truth. He didn't have a good game. He had a poor game. But even at one of his worst games of the season, he won you a penalty. And he scored his penalty when he had to step up. That's what Mbappe does for you. That's what Mbappe's gonna be for you. And the whole world's in trouble because that's what this kid is. He's amazing. He's phenomenal. And at his worst game and at Madrid's worst game, they still advanced. It's unbelievable. Anyways, man, that's my opinion on the game. You know, I obviously talked a lot, but I think there's a penalty to be had. I think there's a red card. I think the Julian Alvarez one is some BS, if I'm being honest with you. But I guess, you know, rule is a rule. I think it's very unlucky for them, and I think it's very unlucky for Atletico Madrid to be out, man. Honestly, I think it's very unlucky that Atletico Madrid got put out today because Madrid did not deserve to go through today, right? And they did, but they gotta count their blessings, man. And I really, really hope that Vinny can start to be a little bit more humble, man, because the fighting with the fans, bro. We want to see more on the field, Vinny, not less fighting with the fans and more on the field.